Mastering is the final step in your music production process. It is not only dedicated to finalizing and fine-tuning your production, but also initiates the final steps towards releasing the song. However, stereo mastering has its limits when it comes to the possibilities for intervention after mixing. This is where the stem mastering comes into play, which allows for more flexible and detailed interventions thanks to its working method, which is divided into several track groups or stems. And that's what we take a closer look at in this video. You can learn more about mastering, mixing and producing in the Hofer College Audio Engineering online courses. So here goes our mastering session. Since we're working with 6 different stems and of course providing the original mix, we're working in a DAW. The last track in yellow is the stereo mix. And of course our equivalent consisting of 6 tracks: drums, bass, guitars, backing track, FX and of course vocals. The sum gives us the same result. Now we are considering a mastering chain for our stereo bus. Of course we start with 2 EQs to reduce some resonances. This is mainly about the mids and the high frequencies. Next up we need some multiband compression, a channel emulation for some characteristic and stereo spread, and finally a limiter that on top provides us with more loudness. Let's have a comparison. As we hear again, the stereo mix is absolutely identical to the sum of the stems. Now we start to treat the stems individually. Since the drums lack punch and high end, the guitar's definition and attack, and the vocals entire harshness treatment. Let's start with the drums. The drums' overall sound is a bit dull, and of course it could use a bit more of attack. Therefore we're going to use the IQ transients to push the transients down in the low end as well as in the higher mids, which benefits kick and snare. Plus an EQ that provides a more open high end, both statically and dynamically. Good for the overheads. Let's compare. This is one of the more significant interferences, cause the drums noticeably sink in within the mix. Processing the bass goes fairly easy. We're gonna cut the frequencies below 50 Hz using a high-pass filter to make sure the kick has priority in the low end. And there's just a tiny resonance up above 100 Hz that needs to be reduced. There's slightly a bit more to do with the guitars. Addressing muddiness and rumble, we will cut just underneath 100 Hz with a high-pass filter and reduce resonances around 400, 860 and 2K. Now Hofer system comes into play with a British channel strip preset to shape some characteristics within the mids and high frequencies, as well as providing us with some compression for more punch and more definition within the attack. Definitely worth it. Would you like to learn more about music production, mixing and mastering? It's really easy with the Hofer Audio Engineering online courses, with lots of practical exercises and professional feedback. More information at hofer-college.com. The backing track stem brings up another quality of the stem mastering, which consists of automation. we're gonna clear out the low end using a high-pass filter. However, within the break we need the full range of the frequency spectrum. So the automation bypasses the EQ just in time to feature the boom effect, and activates it just in time before the band kicks in to further on clean up the low end. Here the effect is audible. A significant advantage in terms of intervention compared to stereo mastering. Regarding the effects, it's again just cutting the low end because we set a high pass just underneath 100 Hz. The vocal group seems a bit harsh, especially in the chorus where a lot of sibilants are accumulated. Again, it's about cleaning up the low end and remove some resonances around 2.4 and 2.8 statically, as well as at 3.5 dynamically. On top of that, we're gonna apply some wideband de-essing from around 5 to 20 kHz. Of course, without affecting any of the vocal characteristics. Absolutely noticeable in the sibilants.
Can you take it away? Can you bury this nocturne? Can you bury this nocturne?
This makes a difference.
I am so afraid.
Now let's take a look on the total amount of our processing regarding the stems compared with the stereo mix. Of course, still sharing the same master bus. Excited for the result?
I'm floating in these restless waves. I'll surrender to the suffocating embrace. With every breath I'm longing to let go. The tide's coming close. Can you take?
The first listening impression let the stem master appear louder. The drums appear to have more punch, the guitars are more energetic, the vocals are softer, and the overall picture is clearer. Of course, we can still work on details and further tweaks addressing certain stems within the context, not affecting the whole mix. A clear advantage for the stem mastering compared to the stereo mastering. Which procedures are best suited for your workflow? Let us know in the comments. And if you liked the video, we'd be pleased to receive your like. For more sound engineering knowledge, visit us at hofer-college.com.